Hello and welcome again to the Code Maven channel. Hi, Ivett. How are you?
Hi, good.
Yeah, we are going to continue with this React-based project. So just get all the videos, previous videos, just check out people if you're watching this. Thank you for watching. Let me share the screen and then we can get started. Do you want to say something before we get started?
No, let's get started. Last time we kind of finished separating the setup step from the play game, but we had a couple of refactorings left, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah. We can do some refactoring there. Here we are. The thing is running already.
Yeah.
And we have the editor.
Yeah.
So, more or less what we have.
So yeah, what did we have? We had
we moved out the gameplay. That was, I think, the last thing that we did.
And we only moved out the actual template, but we didn't check what functions could move inside. Yeah. And right now we are passing in the functions.
Yeah, and the other thing is that we had this. Well, okay, it was sort of okay. That the gameplay and I don't know if it's is the right way to write this, but.
Yeah, I think that's what they wrote on the internet, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. Well, actually, one other option that we would have is to introduce a router, which is a possible component within for React, and that allows you to define pages. And it also modifies the URL. So that's also something we could do later on. For now, I think that's fine. We are never going to have more than 2 different steps. So
how this? I mean, right now, I mean, I already linked to the page where you deployed it. We discussed. I mean, you showed it in the video, so I put it in the link. Under the video, the previous video. So now anyone can go there and play, assuming they know Hungarian.
Yeah.
And is it going to be some? So do you plan anything for the backend to store some information, or do you just keep it like this?
Yeah. So for now we won't have a backend. Only the last task that we have. Will introduce backend, even that one is kind of optional because this is meant to be used for Zoom meetings. And one option is that the facilitator just shares their screen. Yeah, and there is no need for having a synchronization between the browsers, right? So I would say that for now
they don't even have they don't even really need it to be deployed. You could just tell people, okay, install Node.js and run this command or whatever.
Yeah, they could do that. At the same time, like it's much easier for them if it's deployed, right?
Yeah, sure.
So,
but I mean, if you have a single set of questions, or if all the set, or will we be able to upload a set of
yeah, that would be an interesting option for the future, but for now it is only meant for, so we are first building for one specific workshop.
Okay.
And then maybe once it's done and once it's been tested a couple of times, and if there arises the business need, then we can actually introduce different sets of questions. Yeah. and maybe move, because right now we have a text file that contains all of the questions, but like in the future we can move that into a database and allow people to edit and add their own questions.
You could actually, now I just thought about it. I don't know how it's the questions could be stored elsewhere, and then the user can just give a URL where the texts are, and then the system can load. So they don't need any control over the file system here.
Yeah, that would be an option. for the future. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, all right. So let's move on. So the first thing I want to do is just check what are the event functions that we pass into. Sorry, that we pass into a gameplay.
So we have the current card, end of current turn, and the draw card.
Yeah, and basically, like, it feels like all of those things could be inside. Oh yeah, I know why they cannot be inside. Okay, so the trick is that if you look at draw card, it actually modifies the players, uses the players array as well, and also
The active player index and the players.
so it modifies a couple of things. And if you look at the gameplay again, we had another function there on
The
end of current turn is okay. That's just the countdown. So one thing that I was thinking about since yesterday, at some point you actually implied that we should separate the current players component into two separate components because right now we have the setup, the administration, the player, and the gameplay, right? But at the same time, like, we are reusing the same players component in both, and in the future, like in the setup, it will
we need two different views of the players.
Yeah, we actually need two different views, exactly. And if we have that, then we can move that into the admin and into the gameplay, and then actually all of the gameplay logic could be in the gameplay component and not in the app component, which would be really nice.
Okay, so instead of having a player here, we would have a sort of player here and the sort of player here inside. So inside partial player, because here now in the admin interface. Sorry, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Add player. So here we don't need
the modifier actions, for example,
and we don't need this one. So we don't only need the name, right?
No, the name and we actually need the name of the deck. That is also relevant information, I think.
Why?
Because
you can't change it here.
You can change it here, but at least you can see. I mean, that sounds like something I would still want to see.
Okay.
But yeah, so we actually
maybe you want to modify it. I don't know.
But maybe we can also do that. That we allow the user to modify it once it's been added. But at least for checking if it's right, because we will. The next task that we have is removing a player before in the administration, and then
that's what I wanted to ask, if you want to remove any player.
Yeah, and maybe, like, I don't think that it's necessary to make it possible to modify the deck, but at least when you remove and re-add, that's kind of solves the problem, and it's not perfect UX, but it makes sense. So let's just go on and separate the players into two separate components, and then let's also and then we can move a couple of functions inside gameplay after that.
Okay, so we can have so I guess I can just move this one right now. I could move this one, copy in two places, right? Both in both classes. That would should still work.
Yeah, that should still work. Although we might need to pass some extra information
here. Okay, the parameters we need. Okay.
Yeah, you need to move that into the div, into the because you need to have a single root object.
So this one, and the other one is the administration, right?
Yeah.
So it should be here as well. And then somehow these two are going to be different.
Yeah, and I would suggest that the current players should be used in the gameplay, because the gameplay version is more complex. So we should just rename the current players to gameplay players or game players.
So this is going to be game players.
Do you have a refactoring tool that can do the renaming?
I have no idea how to refactor. Okay.
Yeah, and rename maybe. Oh, come on. It doesn't have that option. Okay, well, then we have to do it manually. The rename symbol. It's there. It's actually F2. Go a bit up, down, up there. Yeah, and now you can try and type gameplay. Game players, yeah.
No, that's it already lost it.
Yeah, and just type game players. Okay, let's see what it does. Yeah. Did it change?
The players is still players.
Okay. Oh well, then
it
we have
changed here. It only changed here.
Ah, come on, that's not very good. Okay, then let's do it manually.
So
Yes.
we had in here game players, and then so we have here the
There you have
players.
Yeah. I'm going to use annotation to help you out.
Yeah, it's
okay. So that's game players.
yes.
Yes.
And now this is called game players, and here is also called game players, right?
Yeah.
And this is supposed to work now, assuming that well, wait, okay. Did we have, we had import players, it updated here, but that wasn't where we need it here. We need it in the gameplay.
Yeah.
And here we need to import game players. Right? Okay. So that's one. And the other one is called
yeah, and let's first check if this works, if you import and just rename the players to game players, and then we can create the new.
Yeah, this is the that one I already did.
But here where I'm showing you, you also have to change.
Oh,
that.
so you mean said to do the same here as well?
Yeah,
okay.
For now, and let's just check if it works. Okay, so we actually have a couple of problems. Yeah, because we actually need to pass in.
We have to pass some of the stuff. Yeah.
So we actually have
administrator needs
the players, the active player index, and the use modifier.
So we needed the players.
So
we need to get the players. We need this one. And I guess we need this one as well.
Yeah, exactly. And we also have to do that on the
other thing as well.
Yeah.
So this is administration. This is the gameplay here too. We need all three, and then in the app.js we need to pass them.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me improve this a little bit here. Well, it's okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine eventually.
It's so much copy paste. But at least I don't need to use my useless brain for anything. Just copy paste, and I can do this. I can do this. Okay.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. Fine.
Anything? Well, it looks good. So now Joe, adding this player.
Yeah.
Jane, adding this player. Both
yeah, and then we can start playing.
Starts playing, and then still we have Joe and Jane. Okay, and draw a card.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. Okay, so
Yeah,
now
here when it's playing, it's also okay. Who's playing? Whose card are clicked? It's a mess for now. Oh, and we can't go back.
yeah, but that's a separate task.
That's
going back.
future. I know.
It's a future. For now, let's continue with the refactoring.
Okay.
And like, let's start with the administration and let's clear out everything that we don't need. So let's duplicate, let's create a new player, which is administration players. And that way we can modify it. So let's just duplicate game players and make
Copy
it.
paste the whole thing and then
Yeah, exactly.
administration players. That's the name. That's not where I need to put it. Okay, so
What happened?
no, it just doesn't know about it, that it's a JS file.
Okay, cool.
I didn't save it earlier, so.
Now we can just replace.
So we can, in the apps, we can use this.
No, in the administration.
In the administration, right?
You have to go into the administration, and then you can replace. Okay, let's check if it works. Oh, we also have to do the import. Okay, now this should actually work.
Let me reload. Joe, add player.
Okay, that works.
Jane.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
All right. So now what we can do is we can go into administration players and remove a couple of things.
It works if I control and click on it. That's
so we also have a player separately. What do we have in player? Just out of
it's just showing the player.
Yeah, but what is that component? Can we look at the component there? Okay, so it's very simple code, to be honest.
Shouldn't we just move it into the?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That maybe we should just
so here we have this is a
instead of having it as a separate component, let's just return it from here.
So we take the player and we take this whole thing and move it inside.
Yeah.
Instead of, I guess we need to put it in a div or something.
No, it's already in a P. It's already in a paragraph.
Ah, okay. So that's enough for it. But just didn't like me because I had both.
Yeah, but maybe you should have this continue there. Yeah. Yeah, and then maybe just put that in a bit.
Indentation you like?
Yeah, indentation. I would. Yeah, that's a nice way to do it. Okay. Okay, that looks better.
Okay, so now this is the admin player.
Yeah, and now we can. Only use modifiers.
Because the names are different.
Oh yeah.
It has different names. So it was how was it? Game players. It was the key was the player ID.
Yeah. Oh, we actually
player unmodified was use modifier. So
use modifier.
So where is the on modifier?
There.
On use modifier. Okay, use modifier. Or we here we call it on modifier then.
That's yeah, it makes actually more sense.
On use modifier, right?
Yeah, and
That's
then
also
here we actually need to add the key. Sorry. Yeah, active. Yeah, we can just delete the active. We don't need that at all. So with the administration players, we don't want to show an active player. So we can remove this line entirely, and that also means that we can remove the active player index, right?
We don't have this line.
Yeah.
Okay. And the index.
And this is the administration player, so we don't actually need these two lines either.
Right. We need, no, so wait a second. We needed, okay, these are two things here.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we just don't need those two lines. Yeah.
Okay, but the thing is that we have the index here. And
we need to include here as a key.
This we don't need. Use modifier.
We don't need that, yes.
We don't need that at the end. Okay. And so how we do what here we used the player ID.
Yeah. So you actually have to go back into and say here key equals player ID.
There is the inside, no.
No, here. No, here on the P on the paragraph.
Ah, okay, sorry. Key equal
and either index or player ID. Maybe player ID is better.
And then I don't need the index here.
Yeah, we don't need that. Okay. And now we can remove the props from the administration players, except for player. So in the administration there,
yeah,
we can
just the players.
Everything after the players. Just need the players. Okay, that's it. Okay, that works. Probably we should do some formatting though.
Yeah.
Let's just add a dash between the two for now. And maybe let's make the player name bold. Okay, let's see. Looks great. Although, like, I kind of would like to have more space there. Can we do that?
I can. So I don't know if I can. How else? I mean,
yeah, probably like this.
If I put it this way, then it gives us some space. But
yeah, okay. All right. So that's actually a lot simpler like this. There is not that much going on here, so that was a good move, I think. Okay, then let's go back to the gameplay.
Gameplay?
Yeah, game players, yeah.
Game players, and here we can also inline the player, or if you'd like.
Well, I'm not sure because here
this is more complex.
Fairly complex, yeah. It's going to everything is going to stay there, right? We do need the player. We do need the. Let's look at the UI now. Let's go back there.
So start playing.
And yeah, we actually need all of those, right? If you press the draw card for a second, then it actually shows which one is the active. But we actually need all of that. So one thing that we could do as an option is to only show the active player instead of having all of the players displayed.
At least I wouldn't show this part of the non-active or not active players.
Yeah.
So, or maybe Joe saying Joe with bold. So I would probably put maybe the word active also, but put the word name bold or something more. Color. And I would probably list the other names as well, so we know who are in the game.
Or another option would be to basically separate the two things, because I don't know. Let's just leave it like this for now, and let's move on a bit later. We will see what's the best option. But for now, let's just move in the logic from outside.
Sorry.
So we have now the game players, and we have the gameplay, right? And if you go to gameplay is actually getting a lot of functions passed into it, and a lot of data passed into it. And the reason we get so much data passed in is because the entire logic that could be encapsulated into the gameplay is outside in the app.js. So now we can move that logic inside this component.
Okay.
So that should be our next step.
Commit this one.
Okay.
Okay. So we made quite a few changes. So what did we do? Okay.
All right.
So now that what here a lot of things from here you would want. Game phase is in the game, right?
No, game.
No, sorry, that's not here. That's the setup. Okay.
But the current
card, the active player
index,
end of current turn. These are
all. Yeah, these can all move inside.
So these two are staying.
Yeah, I think so.
So these go into the game play.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, current
now
card.
We don't need those to be passed in.
Yeah, let me just
more.
Current card. So this whole draw card.
Yes, that's moving inside. And the use modifier is probably also going to move inside. There is a use modifier function up there. Yeah.
And we don't need it in the app.
Well, most of the things there we won't need to pass in, but let's first move in the function and then we can find out what needs to be removed.
Use modifier, but that's in the game. Yeah. Okay. So we have in the game the use modifier. Okay. And then so here we have the use modifier that we don't need.
Yeah, active player
index we don't need.
Players we do need. Draw card we don't need. And then the turn we don't need. And current card we don't need. So the only thing that we need to pass in is the players. Yeah, and we actually should remove a lot of things from the administration. Let's look at the administration for a second. What was it expecting?
Well, it's still expecting all of the things.
Yeah, because we didn't remove it. So yeah, so on start playing decks, then the rest is staying. Yeah, within the rest.
Okay.
Actually, we might be able to do some more refactoring later on because I feel like on add player could move inside as well.
Use state is not defined.
Yeah, we didn't import it.
Use state in we are doing it here.
Yeah, but we don't.
In fact, we don't need here.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other one. That's the gameplay and the administration.
We already have that here.
Okay.
Okay, and Dex is not
not
defined. The
defined.
set player is not defined. Okay, let's see.
The gameplay, set players. We don't need set players there.
Let's see what's going on there.
That's in the gameplay.
Why do we have set players there?
Set. What?
Oh, yeah, because we are modifying the players. So, yeah, so we actually need to pass that in. For now, later we can think of how we can separate ourselves from that. But for now, we do need that function, unfortunately. It's fairly ugly, to be honest. I wouldn't want to keep it like that. It's missing a comma in the gameplay. Yeah, on line 6, there you need a comma. Okay.
No, it's the
And
gameplay.
then we
Still
also
it's
need
deck.
to pass in the deck because we don't have the deck here.
Decks.
And we also have to modify FJS to pass it in.
Yeah, that's the decks. It's happier now. Okay.
Seems to work. Let's press the skip button to make sure that it works.
This is horrible.
Yeah, skip. Okay, draw card. Draw another card just to see the counter. Okay, and +5 means, yeah, it seems to work. Okay.
Text is horrible there. It's in the, where is it? This is the gameplay. Game players. That's the player.
Yeah, the player. Well, the formatting is not perfect, but let's just commit for now, and we will improve on the design.
Because of the git diff. Okay. I'm getting okay, lazy with the comments.
Can we do a short break before we continue?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
How short, how fast, how long?
I mean, 5 minutes at most.
Okay. So shall I stop the video and then record a separate one, or what?
It's up to you, whatever is more convenient for you. You can cut out this part.
I'm not good at cutting parts. Okay, let's have a break now.
Okay, then quick break.
I'll be here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, bye-bye.
That wasn't. Thank you. We can continue.
Okay. Good.
Right.
So
So where were we? We still need to do some refactoring, right? This is going to be a refactoring heavy session.
like the previous one, actually, no?
Yeah, that was also mostly about refactoring. Okay, so yeah, I didn't want to play around with this yet. Let's look at gameplay and let's see if there is anything that we can move inside there. Because right now we still have the decks, the set player. Yeah, the set players. That's kind of annoying. I wonder if we should move the active player out of, or yeah, it's oh yeah, because the problem is that the modifiers. This is the part, like so we have this part, right? And this is actually not really a property of the player. It's more like a local state for the gameplay, right? How many cards does someone have left? This could be the total cards that they have, but we should actually separately track how much is used inside gameplay so that we don't have to pass in the set players function. Or we can just say that for now it's fine.
yeah, I'm thinking about somehow different. So well, I'm not sure.
And and
you have the players.
I'm actually going to go a bit further. I'm going to say that since one of the next steps is going to be to make this configurable, the number of modifiers for each player. No, so when you set up the game, you will be able to tell how many modifiers each player has. But for every player, it will be the same. So actually, it will make sense to just remove this part altogether from the player, just pass it in as configuration to the gameplay, and then track it inside gameplay, how many modifiers are used by each player.
So
but I guess this,
in the gameplay, you will have a list, a copy of the list of the players.
yeah, but actually it will be just the IDs of the players. Maybe it's going to be a dictionary or whatever, and we are just going to modify that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that I was thinking, so let's just leave it for now, because this is something that will make sense modifying when we are doing the configuration. Yeah. The other thing I was thinking about is somewhere, yeah, so one thing that we still have out here is the add player, and we also have the on start playing, right? And I was wondering if we could move the add player inside, and with the on start playing, we could just pass the list of players out. So instead of having this as a state outside here, we would have this state inside the administration. And once the players are set up, we would just pass it out into this Lambda function, and before setting the game phase, then assign that players into this state. Does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense that the add player is in the administration, right? Because that's where we use it. Mm-hmm. I think, but what happened? I'm trying to imagine that you are in the. So you might want to move from the game, from the play, back to the administration at one point and then return to the game, right? Maybe you would want to add a new user in the middle of the game. I don't know if it's
I don't think
any
it makes
idea,
sense though.
or modify a user. Maybe, I don't know if any of these make sense during the game. And then if you have separation of the players and a separate place where you maintain how many cards they have, then these moves can easily they will disconnect between the two data set.
I see what you mean.
You remove a user maybe, and then its data is left there in the other structure. So if we can assume that after administration is done, you just play and you will never go back to the administration unless you start a new game. So when you go back to the administration, you start from no users. Then it's okay that the administrator have the add player, have the players, and then move the whole player thing around.
Or
and then have a copy there. You don't need so you can copy in the data, and then you don't need to have your own. You don't need to pass in the set players because now you have a copy.
Okay, how about another option that I just thought of?
Okay.
How about we say that instead of passing new player name and new player deck to add player, we are going to pass the actual player, this part. And we are creating this object inside the administration. And then the add player will just append the players into this. One thing I don't like about that is, okay, you know what? Let's leave the refactoring for now, because I actually the next task is going to inform us a lot about what makes sense.
Okay.
Because we have finished separating the game setup from the gameplay. So I'm gonna move that particular card into done, and I'm going to pull in progress the remove player card, and then let's try to implement remove player, and then maybe that will give us a hint about how to think of this.
Yeah. So here I have to restart the whole thing because we can't move. Should we? So maybe it's not there, but should we have a button of stop end game and then it goes back to the administrator?
We could have a new game button. The next task is a new game button. So we can also start with that one if you prefer.
Yeah. So it's because now I know so here at this point either reload the game, the page to get a fresh start, or it would be nicer to have a button here saying, okay, end everything, start from clean.
Yeah, we can do that. That's actually the next card anyway, so we can swap the order. We can start with the new game button.
So let's do this.
All right.
So it's in the gameplay. We have another button here. Let's have some separation. Do we need two HRs, both beginning and end?
No, I think
I never add end there. Okay.
But you can close the HR with a slash. Yeah.
And OnClick end game.
Actually, it's on end game.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. On end game. And then we have a functions from somewhere.
We actually need to put that in here.
That we have to get from there, right?
Yeah.
On end game, and here
Actually, just duplicate, copy this line on end game equals, and then just set the game phase back to its original. We don't need that here.
Sorry?
We just need here and here. We should just pass a lambda function in here.
Oh, okay.
And just like here, a lambda function.
Oh, okay, okay. Now I understand what you. And I set game phase to what was the other phase?
The good question. I don't remember. Setup. It was setup. All right. Yeah. And then we can end the game. And that brings us back here.
Yeah. And the question now, should this also clean the list of users or what should it do? But
for now, let's not clear it because maybe they want to use the same players again. Maybe they just want to add one more player or remove one player.
But we keep also the status of all the cards.
Yeah,
which is either good or bad. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. If that's actually a requirement or not. Yeah, because there is actually two different buttons that both make sense, and this should actually instead of end game, this should actually be change setup or modify game or something like that, because this allows you to continue playing while adding a player or removing a player.
Okay, so we can change it for now to modify game, and then we'll see whatever.
Okay. Because that's actually yeah. So let's have an on modify game, and let's also introduce an on end game. So let's have both, and then the on end game we are
in the game.
Yeah, let's pass both functions in, and then and then we have two buttons there. Okay, and then outside, we could just, instead of just doing the game phase setup, we can also add one more function call there with the end game. We can also just set the players to empty array. Set players empty array. And then that resets everything, right?
Okay. So if I now start playing and I say modify game, start play, and I say end game, and then we are now.
That's perfectly. Okay, so this is actually done. So now we can move to the remove player.
Okay, so I guess we need somehow either next to each user a button remove.
Yeah, maybe
or
just
a selector.
an X.
Sorry.
Or just an X. We just put an X
Yeah.
button there.
Okay.
A clickable image. Or maybe we could use an emoji. Emojis are cool.
Okay.
So there is a cross mark emoji. That's the really cool thing. And
Cross mark emoji.
yeah, and you just from Emojipedia, you just copy it, and then we can use that as a button.
Okay, so this is in the game. No, administration players.
Yeah, just
Player
add
name.
the emoji there. Yeah, and then surround it with button.
Okay, and here we have some OnClick thingy, right?
Yeah, we should actually have an OnClick, and it will be on remove player ID and player, and then parentheses. Oh, we actually need to make this a lambda function.
Yeah.
Because we need to pass in the player ID.
And here we have the player.
Or maybe the entire player. It really doesn't matter. Let's pass in the entire player, why not?
Okay.
Let's first. Oh.
And we have to import, get it from outside, no?
Yeah. We actually need to do that first. Okay. And for now in administration, first just go back to administration, and here just pass in an empty lambda function for now.
What? A lambda function just?
Yeah, just an empty lambda function. Yeah.
Just get the players. Get the player.
Yeah, we can get it. Yeah. Okay.
Can I console log here?
If you want to. Yeah, sure.
No, I was just asking if it works here, but.
Okay. And that actually looks like a remove button.
Yeah, we have Joe. And we have Jane. Good.
Good. Okay. So now, and that's the part where this is why I really wanted to move the add player somehow in here, because now we actually have to pass in the remove player function as well. And it would make sense to instead move in, pass in the set players, and then this component could actually do whatever with it.
Okay, so you don't want this anymore here, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking aloud. I'm not sure if that's the right way to do it. Because again, I'm getting back to the problem of, do we really want to actually have this logic out here? I don't know. It feels weird.
The set player, it should be in the administration, no?
Yeah. So that's why I said previous that let's move the player's state inside the administration, but of course then we have to find a way to pass it into the gameplay when we start.
Why? So I think what you just said, that we pass in the set players.
Yeah, that's one option.
So because I think that players needs to be like a global something. Both administration needs it and the game needs it. Just as the deck. The DEX is actually needed only by the game, right?
No, it's actually needed by both. because when we are selecting the deck for the player.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, you need both for both. Okay, so it's needed by both, and the players are needed by both. So, I mean, okay.
Yeah. How about, let me just take control.
That was a brilliant idea. Okay.
So here is the idea that I have. How about we say here that we have an on change. Sorry, I actually have to switch.
At least you probably have only 2 languages right there, or maybe 3.
I have English, German, and Hungarian. So
I have 4. I'm winning. Okay.
okay. Okay. So why is it not working now? Yeah. Okay. So we have an on change, and it's going to get a players, and we are just going to set players to players. And the thing that I like about this solution is that we can move this function now inside administration, but we will still pass the player's state back here every time there is a change, right? So and basically it's almost the same. Actually, we could just move passing the set players function now that I think of it. But the thing that I like about this is instead of having the set players passed in, we just created an on change property that is acting as an event. So when there is an event in administration that triggers a change, and later on this could actually include not just the players but something else as well. That's the motivation behind it, that we actually have, like, administration is this classic HTML component that can change, and when it changes it reports back.
But what does on change get? Isn't it? It's an event object, no?
Well, in our case, it's just going to be the players. We could create an event object if we wanted to, but for now, it's just going to get.
With this code, we need the players. Right? That's right. I was just wondering what's, like. It's not a default thing that the on change will get.
No, we
call change.
Yeah, we call it on change. So the idea basically, so for a moment, I think so that it was a really clever idea, but now I see that I just found the right name, and that's all. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we can play.
Naming is everything, right?
Yeah. So now we can pass in, move the add player into this thingy.
In the administration.
In the administration, yeah, and then we can use the on change function inside instead of set players.
And this is okay on change. So we just check on change, and that's it. That's it, because it already sends in the new players, right? Yeah,
but the one thing that you need to notice is that we have two on change as player functions now, and the only thing that you need to modify is to take this line and copy it down here, and then you can remove this function.
Yeah, we also have this on add player. We don't need this one, right?
Yeah. But we do need the on change, which is now missing. Okay, let's see what we have now. Is it compiling? Yeah, and we just have to remove a couple of things here, namely the on add player we don't need anymore.
But there is also something else that it didn't like here. The new player deck. It says it's not in use.
Oh, because you don't need to pass that in. So these two parameters have to go.
Because why? Because we have them.
Yeah, because we have them here.
Oh, so it thought that we don't use this one because we had it internally a parameter. Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
It's red.
We have to move it import. Yeah, UUID needs to be moved here, the import. Okay.
More red.
Ooh, more red.
No, it was just a temporary red thing. Joe, add player. Jane, add player.
And then you can try to remove players, which we console log for now. Yeah. Okay, it seems to work.
Yeah. Start playing. Draw card.
Yeah, it's working.
Modify game. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we can go back.
Should I commit this or shall we finish adding the code?
I think we should finish adding the code for it.
Remove player.
Yeah, so because now it actually makes sense. We can just create a new function, which is going to be remove player. Yeah. And then it's going to get a player. And we are just going to have to filter out. So we are going to call the onChange function, and inside onChange, we are going to say players dot filter. And
something like this. There's a lambda function here.
Yeah, it's a lambda function there.
And it's something like which has a
parameter P.
Current player.
Or a current player, yeah.
And then there's two IDs are equal. Current player. It's actually not equal, right?
Yeah.
Player ID.
The current player is also current player ID.
That's good. It's always good.
Okay, that's
enough parentheses.
Yeah, and we actually have to call the remove player function because it's not used yet. You have to code it down there on line 40 or something.
Instead of console log.
Actually, instead of the entire lambda function, you can just pass in the remove player. Yeah, instead of that.
Your arrow is hiding there.
Sorry.
Not happy. Expected an assignment for function call and instead so an expression.
So line 24. Let's see.
On change. Expected a what? Expect an assignment or function call instead. So an expression. Should we this return? We don't need to call return in a function on the function.
No, we didn't. Actually, that's it. This should work.
No.
What's the problem? Oh,
What the filter returns is not a iterator or something.
what? No. The filter should actually return the filtered array. And what's going on there?
Players is a
Maybe it's just that we need a double equals here. I'm not sure.
another equal here.
Yeah.
Is it making it
924.
assignment or function code? What is an expression that is so?
Oh, we need the return here, or we have to remove the curly braces. It's even better. Just remove the curly braces here and here.
But then it's not a lambda function.
That it is. It's if you don't have a curly brace, then that one expression is returned.
Yeah, I don't say anything about JavaScript.
Okay, let's see. Joe, add player, remove player. It works. Okay, let's see. Joe and Jill.
What if Joe and Joe?
Ooh, interesting. Evil.
One Joe is gone. Joe, add player. Jane, add player. Joe is gone.
Great. That works.
Error message is gone. Okay.
So now, actually, I can move this card to done again.
Okay.
All right. So the next task that we could work on. So in my priority list, the next one is local storage for game state, which would make it so if you refresh, you would still have the same game state as before.
Okay.
Should we do that one, or should we make time for answering questions configurable? What seems like
What does that is time for?
so right now you have 5 minutes. That's the
Yeah.
default. And what we could do now is just make it configurable to make it 3 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. So the length of the countdown. That
But that's like, okay, so that's a separate administrative decision because you want to make it to every user the same, right?
yeah. Exactly.
So you probably have here some extra bingo.
Yeah, extra configuration down there. So we probably should
various stuff you can configure here.
Yeah, we should probably move the start playing button somewhere down here, and then have a couple of configurations too. But hey, let's continue with the local storage, because I think that's more interesting, and we still have about 40 minutes. I think we can finish that, and then we will do the configuration next time.
Yeah, the local storage doesn't sound like too complex.
Yeah, let's do that.
If you remember
for that, I actually have an article that I prepared or like found, I'm going to send you in the chat. Let me see if I can send messages here. Come on, where is it? Why don't I don't find the chat?
It's
Where?
it's 3 dots. So it's in the external. Wait a second. Okay, something.
Stop remote control. That's the trick. Okay, now I can do it. All right, so there it is.
And I go back sharing the screen.
So the trick that this article uses is it defines a new function called use sticky state. And that use sticky state, we only have to use it for a couple of things, like the ones that we really want to keep around, like the players and yeah, basically just the players. We don't need anything else to be. Okay, now I cannot annotate now. Okay, so we can create this use sticky state thingy, and then we can have this use effect to load whatever is in the is stored. So use sticky state will create a state, and we also initialize that state with whatever it finds in local storage, if there is something in local storage, and the use effect wait a minute.
So what I understand is that basically what we need 2 events here. One is when the page is loaded, to load it from local storage. And the other one is that every time the players change, to store it in the local storage.
Yeah. So, okay, set value. Okay. Get item, and then the set item is, I'm just looking at the use effect thingy, what it does, but it actually, I think that function is being called when the value changes. Okay, let's just try and implement this function, and then we can just replace set state with set sticky state.
So where is this used, the use sticky state?
So instead of if you scroll down a bit, there is an example there.
Okay, so it says constant. Oh, okay. So instead of use state, it uses what it. Okay. So instead of where is the up? We got so many windows open already.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of
so basically in the
players.
Layer
use state, instead of that we'll have use sticky state, sticky state.
That's it. And also for the game phase.
And what is the 0 and count? It's a default value and key.
And the key is the name of the
in the storage,
in the local storage. Yeah.
Okay. And the default value is what to put there if there's nothing in the local storage.
Exactly.
Okay. And then this thing is okay. And React doesn't have this use sticky state already. So we have the use state from here.
But it seems like we don't have a set sticky state. Although it would make sense to have that in React by default. By the way, the entire thing, you have to copy the entire thing.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to finish. Okay, so oh, that's inside it. Is it inside? Yeah, it's inside. Okay. And then once we have this function, we can use here sticky state, and the default is still the empty thing, and the key is going to be players.
And the
Just
same for the game phase.
Sorry?
And same for the game phase. The line above.
Okay.
Let's try it.
So you say that if I have, first of all, we don't see anything anymore.
True.
Okay, that's not what we wanted.
Not what expected, yeah.
Okay. Use sticky state. And we don't even have an error message here. Like, it works.
Oh, I have a yeah, so it seems like that we already had something in local storage for phase, and we didn't end up with setup here. Let's try and delete.
Okay, how do I see this? If I want to show what I have in local storage, really.
You actually have something there where you
okay, let's have a more unique name.
No. Go back. Go to storage.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, okay, I can, but I won't show it on the video. I mean, who knows what's in there?
Oh.
I mean, I really have no idea what kind of applications I write and what.
Yeah, but actually, like, that storage is local to this app. So
but it's local to localhost 3000, and I am building all kind of stuff on localhost 3000.
Okay.
So that's why I would suggest that we rename this to something else.
Okay.
Because that can happen any development platform, actually.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So I would suggest that we rename it to self-knowledge or state.
Self-knowledge. Okay, self-knowledge. All right. Maybe we can just do this in general, like here and here, just prepend it with some kind of value, so that.
Yeah. Do we have
self-knowledge plus? Yeah. Underscore and edit. Okay. And then you always have to do that at the set item. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, plus button is missing. Plus sign. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
Okay, then let's try to add two players.
Yeah, I think it's much better to have some unique name, even though it's or more likely unique name.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you run this application, you develop this application, then you switch to something else, and then this will, in fact,
Yeah.
Shall we try it? So Joe.
Yeah, add player, and then
and
Jane.
Jane, add player. And now if I reload this, then it should.
We should still have the same values. And we have start playing. Let's press the button, start playing. Okay, refresh now. Okay, so it did keep the players, but it didn't. Sorry?
And it kept the state that we are in
except
game
for
already.
and the countdown timer.
Sorry?
It's except for the card and the countdown timer.
Yeah. Shall we also add those?
I'm not sure. Like, yeah, probably it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Let's also make that sticky. But then probably we should move the sticky state function out into a utility.
Into where?
Into a UTL. And because right now this is.
What is a UTL?
What I mean is like any kind of utility library, like just not have it here. That's
Sure. So what do we call it? Oh, you just call it util.js?
Yes, something like that.
Okay, and then load it. Okay.
Yeah, or we can just call it sticky state JS, and then just use that.
Okay, and now we have to export it, I guess, or something like this, right? Export
default and function. Actually, you don't even have to do it like that. You can just say export default functions to use sticky state on the first line. Because why not?
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is called use sticky state is going to be called the file?
Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can import that.
No, I still need all kind of stuff. What I need, the React. I need React there.
Oh, and both use state and
Use effects I need it here. And I need to import the use sticky state.
Yeah.
Import use sticky state from /use sticky state semicolon.
Let's see if that works. No, it doesn't. Use sticky state is not defined. Why?
Type error, object is not a function.
Oh. Maybe I lied.
With the export thing?
Yeah, it seems like I lied there. And probably like might have to. We might have to actually make that into an object. Oh no, it works. Okay.
No, just sometimes it loads in different timing.
Okay, so now that works.
And now we can use this in some other place as well.
Yeah.
Which this other place would be the gameplay, right? And here we wanted to have the current card use sticky state and this
current
card.
Okay.
And active player index we need, right?
Definitely. Yeah, we actually need that.
Sticky state -1 player.
Oh, yep.
And
shouldn't we call that player index or active player index just to make sure that it's unique? Maybe later we will need a player Docker storage.
And then You should, all of them should be the same. So
Yeah.
this should be also game phase, right?
Mm.
And then we don't need all the prefixes.
Yeah, and then there should be players.
Well,
Okay.
it's better to have that prefix, I think.
Yeah. Let's keep the prefix.
Okay. One more here. The time is also.
Yeah, so let's also make that sticky.
But that's okay. Let's see if that works. End of current term. Doesn't that mean that the time is clicking while we are reloading?
Yeah, but that's fine. I think that's expected.
Okay. So now if we draw a card, then we have 4 minutes 50 seconds. And so tell me a story about it. I'm waiting for the time to pass. Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Time passed. So I don't know if it's what you expect or not, but that's how it works.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
I think it's fine because while in the long term we will have multiple browsers being in sync, right? And if one of the browsers crashes and someone restarts their browser, we want
the time still should work. Yeah, that's right.
So that's why I say that it's expected.
Okay.
All right. And actually, the really nice thing about this sticky state is that once we will get to the point where we want to synchronize between browsers, we can just use that set sticky state function or use that sticky state function to also synchronize between the browsers.
Okay.
Or something like that. Okay. So now we have sticky state.
Okay.
Okay. Should we try and do the configuration of the timer? That also seems like a simple task.
Sorry, configuration of
the timer. So to be able to change it from 5 minutes.
This one or this one? The card or the
actually
default?
first the default, and then we will modify the card from +5 to double. So instead of adding 5 more minutes, it's going to double the time.
Okay.
All right, so this is going to be a game level configuration, but I guess at this point we should, sorry?
Okay, go ahead. I thought it's an administration.
It's
in the administration, but it's game level. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So first thing that we should do is move the start playing button down below the player list. It actually also makes sense from a user experience perspective. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And now we can also add a separate line of administration there, which is going to be an input. And I don't know, how should we do this? Should be Do we have a component that is like a counter that you can, press the buttons to increase and decrease, or we just
if you set it as a number, type number, time, let's say, whatever, type, yeah, we have to have some name there. I just wanted to put there type number, and what if we have this? This is what you wanted?
Great, yeah, exactly. And we just
Minus,
make sure that it cannot be negative, right?
I don't know if it can be done, but HTML element and input element number positive numbers on.
Oh, you can actually specify a min value.
Sorry, a min. You can set it a min.
Yeah. And actually that should be 1.
What happened now? Why?
Oh.
Sorry. Maybe it's just the. I move it to the front. Maybe it was just zoom, so sort of shape. Yeah, I think it was zoom hiding and I was clicking on the zoom shadowy thing, or yeah.
Okay.
That's why I couldn't switch to other tab. Okay, so now I can't go down here. I can go up. I can go back, and that's it.
Right.
Okay.
And
so
now,
what is it called? It's time per minutes for turn.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
And the value should start with 5, not? That should be the default.
Yeah, but actually the value should actually be a state, right? Because we will need that value. So we need to introduce a new state.
Okay.
And actually it's going to be another sticky state, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be sticky. It's just when you, I mean, it can be sticky. Doesn't matter.
No, because it's not, it will have to be sticky, but it will have to be, that state will have to be in the Ivett, because we will need that value in the gameplay as well.
Right. We have somewhere this 5. We have a timer, countdown timer. So yeah. We have
where did we use? No, the countdown timer. It's actually in gameplay. I think the row card is the thing that actually modifies. Go to gameplay. No, here the gameplay next to it. Yeah, and there in the draw card you can see that end of current turn is set to 5 times.
Yeah, it's here.
And yeah, that's a use modifier, but so we actually have two places where we use that 5, here and here. But I'm not sure why it's not working now that I am trying to draw here and here.
Yeah, I see. I see.
Okay. So we will need that in the app.js, that's the, and probably it shouldn't just be one because we will have a couple of other configuration values that are game level. So let's just create a new sticky state game configuration.
And that's all this on the up level, right?
Yeah.
And we have here what minutes.
Yeah. This is basically the countdown limits. Countdown minutes. Turn lengths. Turn lengths. Hey, turn lengths. That's the right name. Yeah, turn lengths. Yeah. Okay. All right, then. And by default, that should be 0, right?
I don't know. It's like this.
No, actually 5. Sorry, it should be 5 by default. Yeah.
Okay. And now we need the game configuration turn length minutes here in gameplay.
Okay, then we are going to finish 2 tasks at the same time, but it's not a problem. What did you do?
I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Game configuration. Okay. Yeah, we have to pass it in, right?
Yeah, we also have to pass it in, but where was the other one? Here.
Yeah.
And now we need to pass this in. This is the gameplay. Okay, that's we have, and then we also need it somewhere else where we're going to change it, right?
Yeah, but for the sticky state, you also need a second parameter. Because yeah, you need the key. Okay.
Okay, so
but we are not updating it yet, so we also...
it still should.
Yeah, because it's now 0 for some reason. And I kind of assume why. No, why is it 0? It should actually be turn length in minutes. um, can we console log?
No, I don't know.
Can we console log the game configuration there when we press the draw card button? Yeah, on line 14, let's console log or there. Yeah. It's an empty string.
Why is the string? game configuration. It's game configuration. It's game configuration. It's game configuration. Do I write it correctly? This.
I think so.
What if I reload the whole thing?
Yeah.
Now everything is sticky. So we have no way to remove this. Okay, let me, sorry, I'll move this to separate. Not this one. The browser. Just a second, I'll do this storage. And then in the storage, we have what is self something? No, I have nothing in called self.
Maybe we should find a way to reset our local storage.
Just a second. Local storage. I just don't know how to use this thing. So whatever, I have no idea how to mark and remove all of them. I have a million entries in self-knowledge. I have no idea why.
Interesting.
I have something called self-knowledge underscore undefined. But
interesting. Oh, I have a I know what's happening there. Because my assumption is that what happened was when we
refresh something too
refreshing
quickly.
in the background, and as we were typing the name of the
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if it works now.
Okay.
So
right.
Joe, start playing. Draw card. No, draw card works.
Draw card works.
And it's
back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it works.
All right.
Okay, cool. So it just was good.
Okay.
So we wanted to do what? Update this, right? So in the administration,
we already have the onChange function, and that onChange function, we can modify that.
This value should be, first of all,
yeah, it should be passed in. True. It should be
this should be this one.
The game configuration turn length in minutes. We should pass in the game configuration into the administration. No, passing the entire game configuration.
Yeah. I just here I want to put this, right? Okay. How do you?
We don't need the quotes.
We don't need the quotes, but we need the extra curlies.
Yeah.
Okay. And we want to pass in the game configuration here in here.
Up
Not here?
No, it's up here. Yeah. Line 5.
And this was administration. So in the administration, we pass in this one. So, and that's it, right? No, we also have to call the set. No, we don't have to.
We actually, and that's what I wanted to say, is that we have this onChange thingy that we introduced. And now it's only returning the new players, but we could do that the onChange returns the players and the game configuration. And then we can update both with one function.
But then we need to have here a lambda function, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That gets two parameters, players
and
and
configuration, game configuration.
game and then it calls set players with the players and then calls the set game configuration with the game configuration.
And you should also
Put
curly there. Yeah.
Put the whole thing in curlies, right?
Yeah.
And do you like it that this is the same name as we have here? And this is the same as here?
I mean, that's we're just making use of the
It's the same
scoping,
thing,
shadowing.
yeah, it's shadowing, right? But yeah, okay. And now on the on change, we have to call in the administration.
Yeah, so on change, the add player should also pass the game configuration unchanged. Yeah, and also remove player on change should also pass in the game configuration on line 24. And we need a new function. And we need a new function for well, yeah, for doing that update on the value.
So
We need an on change.
this needs an on change, right?
Yeah. And it should actually be on time instead of on time. There's a typo.
Yeah, I thought that neither of them is good, but
but maybe we actually don't even need the name there, do we?
okay. On change.
Yeah. I don't know, update turn length.
On, excuse me. No?
Yeah, I mean, here it's not going to be an
whatever you're the boss.
Update turn length. Yeah, now we can go and define that function up there next to the remove players.
Yeah, this will get the
This is going to get an event. And then we can say on change players. We don't need the filtering, but we actually should say that it's so create, like, put the whole thing in curly braces, yeah, and then you can override this one value.
what is its name?
Yeah. E dot value, E dot target dot value, I guess. Okay, actually, it's not correct yet, because one thing, you don't need this whole filter thingy here.
Why do I have the filter there?
Because you copied
forgot to remove it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I already have the filters.
Layers.
How many do? Okay.
And
sorry.
then you need a curly brace here.
Wait a second. We have E players on change players, And where do I need the curly?
Here. So move this curly, oh, sorry, move this curly here.
Oh, because it's an object. What, you remove this one? Ah,
Yep.
okay.
Because then it will disassemble the game configuration.
Yeah, and override the last
value and then create a new object of it.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if that works.
Okay.
So
I need to
let's
go to
modify
modify game. Say, let's say 10.
Yeah.
Start playing, draw card, and it's 10. Yeah, and if I set it to 8, start playing and draw card, it's 8.
And if you press the +5 button, great, it doubled the time. So then we just have to rename the +5 button to double, and that's it.
Oh, because we used it in 2 places. Oh, now I. So it does. It's not doubles the time. It gives you the extra same amount as you have, because if you already reduced it to 2 minutes.
No, if
And you let's say you say 8 minutes every session, and then you already spent 6 minutes. Now you have 2 minutes left.
And it's going to add 8 more minutes.
Yeah, so I don't think that double the time is like the right word for that. I mean, I have 2 minutes now.
Yeah, but what I mean is double the total time.
Whatever, okay, whatever you call it, okay. I don't know.
Okay, okay, let's find another name for it. We called it double time.
Okay, let's call it double time, and then
I mean,
the client will tell if it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. And the UX researcher will tell us if it's not the right name. For now, let's call it double time then. And then turn length sorry, no, +5 minutes. There was a lot of +5 minutes in the code. Let's just rename that first. Let's rename that to double time. Okay. Okay. And then we should do one more thing. Sorry, if you go back. There you have a +5, and we can just replace that with this one with double time. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's gonna be funny because now, okay, start playing. And now you press the double time button. What happens? It seems to work. Can you end the game just so that we have a fresh start?
Single turn is 8 minutes now. Joe. Jane. Start playing.
Oh.
Too sticky. That's too sticky.
That's too sticky. Yeah. Okay, let's just fix that. Actually, it's fairly easy to fix it. Because in the when we
draw the card, we have to set the override, whatever it's there.
What?
When we click on draw card,
Can you click on it now? Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
what happened earlier?
So what happened was you go to modify game and start playing again, and the clock is still sticking. It's still,
Yeah.
and it makes sense actually, because when you go and modify the
You turned off the mic.
so you go and modify the game, then that's just one player modifying the game. The other players are still might be watching the same screen. It's the same case with the refresh.
Yeah. Okay. You're also again without the mic, but I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely deliberately turned it off because I was moving my desk.
Okay.
And it's noisy. Okay.
No problem. So shall we leave it now like this way?
Okay. So one thing that we want to change with the end game, when we were pressing the end game, it didn't reset the card. So if you click end game now and you add a player,
I can even start playing without a.
so you still have the timer running and the card. So that's where it doesn't make sense. So that's why we need to go back into the gameplay thingy. And basically when we do have this on end game, right? And right now we are just passing that out. And we have to be a bit more clever about that. We actually have to have our own end game function that is calling the on end game, and we have to reset all of these sticky states.
So this one is going to be called end game, and the other one is on end game, or this is the on end game.
This is going to be called end game. The logic behind it is I use on something when it's a prop that that is going to be passed in, and I use the without on when it's something local to the.
So now this has end game here.
Yeah, exactly. And then
this one is calling on end game.
Exactly. Actually, there are a couple of errors here. It's const. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a good time for me anymore. Yeah, it's probably too much the 2 hours.
Yeah,
but
well, once we are done with this, we are going to finish.
Yeah, and an arrow is still missing here.
Yeah, and now we only thing that we have to do is call 3 set functions and reset out the values in there. So up there we have 3 states. He's 3 sticky states, and for each sticky state we have to reset it out.
We should need, isn't there a way to say to set to default? Because now we're duplicating the defaults.
That will be an interesting.
And I don't like it.
Next time. Yeah, we should definitely have something like that. But that's a refactoring for another time, I guess.
Okay, so if we go back now and end the game and start playing again.
It's still not working. Why is it not working? I think we did what? So now if you click end game, it calls end game function. End game function sets everything back to what it was, and it doesn't. That's weird. Can you console log, just console log here when we are in the endgame function, just to make sure that we are actually in the endgame function? Okay, let's see. So if you press the endgame now, it's not doing it. Endgame now. Okay, now it's working. And it's still there. Why? Oh, wait, what? No.
But does it call the stickiest thing? It should.
Yeah, it should. What the heck? What are we missing? It actually left the values there. Why? Maybe. No. Okay, so I have one theory. Maybe the thing is that this is happening asynchronously, and when we call those set functions, that's not happening immediately, and because it's not happening immediately, the component gets unmounted before the local storage is updated. That's my theory. Okay, let's commit it like this. This is something we need to remember for next time.
So we open that issue.
Yeah.
Okay. So I commit this one, git status, git. And
I'm going to create a card for that so that I remember it.
you creating a card? That's also good. No need to issue. What did we change? Make turn length configurable. Okay, git push. So you created a card for this, right? To fix this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
I created a log and we will continue it from here next time.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me, and or whatever.
Yeah. Like, subscribe.
Subscribe. Yeah. Like it. Yeah.
Also subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, use true. Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.